Welcome back to Advanced Railings Part 2. You know, I think what got me into this again was I was thinking I could take a molding symbol, like one picket, and define the spacing of it. Well, I can't. I don't know how to. Essentially, what I did is, if you saw the first part, you know, I built the top rail, the top rail, this rail, the top cap, the rail, the bottom. What do you call these things? Rail on a rail, you know. And now I need to do the pickets. And how did I do the pickets? If you look at my library, this is the key to making this thing work. And let me see if I can find it. It's in my folder. It's in my folder called Rails. Oh, come on, Scott, just do it, will you, please? Where am I at, man? Sorry, I should know where. Oh, Rails, right here, Rails. Rails, that's it right there. Rail type 1B. I don't know what that is. It is what it is. Oh, what is that? Let's take a look at what I just put in there. I think there's a reason why I'm taught. Yeah, I made a symbol. I think these are 1x1 pickets. This is the key. Now, all you have to do is make one picket, one vertical picket, and then put this top piece solid on top of it. What I'm saying is make a vertical. Fucking hell, just do it. P, right there. And I want to pick it to be 1x1, okay? 1, 1. Make it a solid. Turn it into a solid. P solid. Make it 36 inches tall. 36, 36. Perfect. Now, shift P, come across like this. 1, 4, 5 inches long. 5, solid. 36 inches tall. 36 inches tall, and then 1/4 inch thick. So now what does that look like? Control C, Control New, 6 to paste in place, H to look at it. That's all it is. And you turn this into a symbol. Tools, symbol, convert to symbol, and make sure it's not millwork but molding. Turn it into a molding. And what that does is it creates a molding symbol that is, the picket's 1 inch, and this is 4 inches long, a total of 5 inches. And that kind of sets up the spacing automatically. What happens with this top piece is it actually gets buried in the top rail of my stairs, okay? It's not going to be visible. But that piece is important because that sets up the spacing of these pickets. I was thinking, for whatever reason, that I could just put this one picket in there and then tell Chief how to space it, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And if you don't bury this piece in the top rail, then you're going to see the vertical piece in your elevation every time. So it's very important to bury that in the top rail. And so W, I don't want to save it. W, no. This is it, yeah. So get rid of this thing. There it is. So what I'm saying is this metal rail right here is really one vertical piece, and then it has a horizontal piece. And that horizontal piece, that 6-inch long horizontal piece, is actually probably buried up in that rail. So anyway. So what's the problem with this? I don't have my posts. Two ways you can do that. You can do it with symbols. Just piece solids or symbols and add each one individually, or Shift R, or you can come back to these, Shift R. I'm selecting my walls. U, 3.5, not invisible. rails, rail open, no rail, 3.5 square, and 72 inches on center. There they are. They need to be. This is always confusing to me here. I don't want post to rail. So if I don't put post to rail, I can now come over here and select the null height to be 41.5 up to the underside of that top rail. You see what I got? You see what I did right there? I got some Z fighting there, don't I? So I got my rails in there. Now, the problem here is sometimes you want to attach these things to the outside of the deck rail. And the only way I know how to do that efficiently is just to add them in yourself, I think. I think that's what I would do. And I can get rid of the Z fighting. I mean, if I want, this is what I might do. Take my top molding number 1 and make it, 5.5 inches? And offset it by -1. Watch this. There. Now it overlaps that other piece, right? Now you come over here, molding number, I think it's molding number 3, 1.5. Offset the horizontal by -1.5, and now it's going to wrap around that post. See that? So now I just go back up here to this molding here, that number 1, instead of make it 7.5 and offset it by -2 inches. Now I'm starting to get the rail that I really want to see. You got what I'm saying? I mean, that thing's wrapping around those posts, this rail here, and I got that thing right there. And so, yeah, I might want to let's just carry this on further. Molding number, add a new molding 5. Add new one, molding number 5. Okay, it's going to be 3.5 inches tall. It's going to be 1.5 inches wide. It's going to be 4 inches to the bottom, and the horizontal distance is going to be -1.5, and the material is going to be plan material, beige stucco. That's good enough for me. Now watch what happens. See, now I got that thing right there if I want. I don't know if you want it. I'm just goofing around. I'm just starting to build up this railing. That's the whole point of this thing. Now, of course, this could also be no. That's the only way to do it. I mean, you can make a symbol, a molding symbol out of these top rails and stuff. But the problem with that is in vector view, you'll start getting the vertical pieces where each one of the moldings end. That's why it's important to build it. I'm not sure if I should say that. Actually, I could just do a cross. I could do a cross section. I could do a cross section with all these pieces already in place, but it doesn't give me the flexibility. I don't know if it's any faster. I mean, I don't mind building these things up, and this way, by building it up this way, I think I can give them all their unique own materials. I don't know, you can do a lot of things with this stuff. So I think I did this video yesterday where I used the deck railing, just to get my vertical posts. But all this other stuff was actually a molding. Yeah. Yeah, and I think what got me going again is I was thinking maybe I could make this thing right here out of a molding. Now, I could have done this out of 3D moldings, and it would have been a different animal. But what I don't like about the 3D moldings, that I like about this, molding, timer done again. Molding. Make it 45. Yeah, and so what I like about this is it kind of gives me the molding itself. Now, if I wanted to tab this U, that's actually on layer normal deck. I suppose I could turn that layer off, so I don't see that the edge of the deck. But this isn't a true representation of the molding because the molding actually hangs out a little bit further. How wide is this thing? That's the question. How wide is this? 6 inches. It's really 5.5. Now I don't know why it's 5. Oh, I know why it's 5.5. I think this is the deal. I think this line right here represents the molding line itself. Okay, the outside line actually represents the molding line. That's all right, I guess. This represents the extent of the widest piece of molding. And then in this case, it's my 2x8 top rail. So if I was really thinking further ahead to really get this accurately done, I would have C, and I would have, I think this is C. I don't know. Actually, no, that is true. I should have figured my top rail. I'll change it real quick. Cancel. Molding number 1. I don't want that offset at all. That was my mistake. If I make it 0, watch what happens now. There. So if I was really thinking ahead, and if I knew the extent of how far my top rail sat out from the deck or whatever, that's where I would have started it. So I bet this is 8 inches or 7.5 inches. Yeah, 7.5. I'm sure it's 7.5. So that's really the way to do this, I think. I don't know what this is. What is that? What is that? Oh, that's whatever it is. It's just a CAD line. So that's my railing. So now, well, let's take it. Let's turn this back on. Now let's take this and change it to this line style here. There you go. How's that grab you? Now, if I really want to get carried away, Shift R. Oh, this might be kind of cool. U, rail, don't default, draw newels and balusters. There you go. Now I can see my posts. You got what I'm saying? So that's really, I think, the way to build that darn thing. To recap, the dashed line represents the actual wall railing. And all it is posts. There's no rail to it. It's just posts. And all the pickets and the top rails and stuff is made out of the molding. So when you do the molding, you got to just figure out the furthest out extent that the rail is going to be and put that in plan. You know, I mean, does it stick out 2 inches from here? Put that in plan. And then the inside line is going to represent let's try something. How about molding 2? Make that 16 inches wide. There. That is the extent of the longest. Now if I go over to U and I go to molding number 1 and make that 48 inches wide, see? It's going to show the furthest out railing. H. There it is right there. That's not bad. That's probably the way I should start building my stuff from now on. I'm not sure if I like the fact that F6. I'm not sure if I like the fact that I got this double thing in here, but I guess I can live with that. It's kind of neat that it shows the post. Now here's Alan Colburn's deal. Control B, break it. I want an extra post right there. Flip tab, flip the layers, and now they're going to stay separated. And now I just added an extra post in there, right? That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. And so, you know, you got to think about, this is the thing that the Chief doesn't really teach you, and I guess they just let you figure it out for yourself. But the deal is these things right here, these railings, they come on whatever layer they're on. I've learned to put those on their own unique layer that I know what it is. Because when it comes to showing this stuff on roof plans and site plans and second floor plans and all that stuff, I want to be able to control how that's displayed. It's going to be displayed separately or differently than the wall itself. I mean, as you can see, this is a dash line. The wall is going to be a solid line. So it's really important to learn how to use your layers because there's a lot of power in there. And one day I'm going to go back and look at all my my layer sets, my layers. You know, over time I use a SAM, so all this stuff is kind of got built up. I mean, walls, normal deck. I mean, what the frick is? I think that's the one I just added. But I think this is out of the box stuff. So anyway, if you're to look at my layers, you'd see a lot of different layers that I don't use anymore or mislay. You know, I was learning to label, learning to name layers. And I find, I think Chief has given us a good starting point with their layers. In fact, it's probably better that they didn't get too carried away with different layers for us, so we can kind of create our own. If we don't create our own, we don't know what the heck's going on. I mean, technically, I think, do you get a walls deck layer? I mean, if you build a wall. Oh, walls, railings. Yeah, I mean, is it interior railing or exterior railing, or is it deck railing? Do you want that railing to show up on your site plan? On a deck, I do, but I mean, on an exterior deck, I do, but on an interior railing, I don't. So you got to learn to have walls, railings inside, walls, railing outside to start controlling those layers depending upon your layer set. Anyway, I think this video helped me out a lot. Hope it helped you out too. It kind of reinforced a lot of what I already knew, but and I think I knew about this thing right here, but I've just always been too lazy to actually implement it and figure it out. I do things by heck and by golly a lot of the time. Anyway, that's the end.